So God created fish to swim, but fish don't take swimming lessons because the swim is already in the fish. God created birds to fly, but birds don't go to flight school because the flight is already in the bird. God created seeds to become trees, but seeds don't take gardening classes because the tree is already in the seed. So you see, success is built in. But here's the part most people miss. If you're doing what God created you to do, success isn't the goal, it's the default. All of God's creation succeeds naturally when it functions according to its design. And humans are exactly the same. The problem is most people are disconnected from their design. Most people are trying to succeed outside of what they were created for. A fish looks untalented on land, a bird looks weak underwater, a seed looks dead on concrete, but none of them are failures. They're just in the wrong environment. So success isn't about effort, it's about alignment. When you're doing what God created you for, there's a different level of grace attached to it. And it's not because it's easy, it's because you were literally designed for it. When a fish swims, it looks effortless. When a bird flies, it looks effortless because they were built for it. You're the same way. When you're operating in your purpose, it should look effortless too, because success is just a byproduct of being in the right environment, on the right assignment. So the problem was never that success isn't in you. The problem is that you're trying to function somewhere God never designed you to live. Find your water, find your sky, then watch how natural it all becomes.
I understand exactly what he's saying. Like, you gotta be in a space to where you're doing what's true to you. I just did a video a day or two ago about maximizing your life, and essentially, this is exactly what it takes. It takes for you to be aligned with, what you're gifted to do, what you're created to do. Sometimes, there has to be some seeking God or trying, what they say, trying things out here practically, like trying to figure out what it is that you enjoy. Trial and error. That's what I was looking for. There's some trial and error there and figuring it out. But ultimately, God is faithful and he will help you get to the place that you need to be. God is faithful. He will help you find the thing that you're passionate about. You just have to give attention to it. You have to, seek for it, pray for it, go after it, and not just be lazy or not just settle because of the work that it may take. At the end of the day, I believe, like he said, success is a default um, based off being aligned. And success in sense of like numbers can look different, but at the end of the day, if you're doing what you're created to do, designed to do in the right environment, you know, you're going to be good at it because God created you to be good at it. He made the point to say it wouldn't be easy, but he said it's not that it's easy, it's that you are aligned, it's that you are designed for it. It's like a circle that fits in a circle. It's not that, man, it didn't take any work to cut out the hole for the circle. It maybe took some measuring and all of that for you to then put the circle in the cutout space. It's not that that's easy, but because the circle was actually designed for a circle to fit in it, a circular shape of something to fit in it, it works. It's successful. But if you try to put a square shaped item in this circle, it won't work. It won't be successful because it wasn't designed that way. And I just love the analogies he gave. And I think sometimes you got to keep it simple. You got to keep it plain and be direct about it. Know God, learn who he's called you to be, who he's created you to be, and what he's gifted you to do, and then do it. Trust that God will water what you're doing, blow the wind in your direction, give you the connections that you need, give you the exposure, turn the lights towards your direction so people, places, and opportunities can see you and find you because you are in the right space, doing the right thing, and the thing that's actually gifted and natural for you. And it flows a whole lot easier when you're doing what you love, when you're doing what you're gifted at. I'm telling you, it flows a whole lot easier. I've learned like this within the past couple of years that you can also learn how to do something that actually isn't what you're supposed to do, but you can learn how to do it, and you can also become really good at it to a point to where you actually believe like, oh, this is what I'm gifted to do. It's it's one of those things that I'd call like, well, it's not that I call it, but they call permissive will, God's permissive will versus his perfect will. The perfect will would be similar to, this is what God created me for. He designed me to do this, to say that, to go here, to go there, to think this way. And that's what I'm doing. That would be his perfect will. His permissive will would be something like, well, I know I was gifted to play drums and play the keyboard and all of that, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather just draw. I'd rather just like do paintings. And there's nothing wrong with painting. You can become really good at it and be successful at it, and lay your musical, instrumental talent to the side and say, no, I don't want to do that at all. That is what I'd call permissive will. God can still grace your hands to be good at something that it's not necessarily what you should be doing or what you believe you were gifted to do. So I think, like he said, I hope that I didn't confuse anybody with that. Long story short, of what I'm saying is even if you don't pursue the things that, okay, here's an example connected to what he said. The fish, he says the fish is in the water, right? But usually fish is in ocean, seas and stuff like that. Well, sometimes fish, people get a fish tank and put the fish in the tank. Obviously, yeah, they're still in water, but it's a different kind of environment. The fish is not, adapting to nature with other fish and things of that nature, with things as such. But it's in a fish tank now for an aesthetic look for the home. And though someone say, well, the fish is still in the water, but it's not technically the same, because it's like the perfect will or the perfect plan for the fish would be in the seas and the ocean with other fish and in their natural environment. But a permissive will, which is something that also works for the fish, would be to have it in a fish tank, and to create an environment to where the fish can still exist and be aesthetically pleasing. But obviously the fish isn't reproducing. The fish isn't like, being amongst fish. I hope you caught that. But listen, at the end of the day, know God, seek him, work hard, and trust that, what you put your hands to, that he can breathe on it and bring success. And it's not always easy. Sometimes people find out like what they want to do early. Because I just asked somebody, how did you know you wanted to be a doctor? We were working out, buddy of mine, he's a doctor. He's like, man, interesting enough, my mom told me when I was 5 years old, I was asking some of my friends like what was their blood pressure, and trying to get, ask them about stuff like that at 5 years old. So he's like, I knew since I was a kid I wanted to be a doctor. He's like, when he got to like middle school, that's when middle school, high school, he started really taking it serious. He's like, I really have a shot at being a doctor. I'm going to take this serious. And I was asking somebody else about dentistry, and she told me that she found out she wanted to be a dentist because she went to a dentist when she was a child. And I think she might have said her neighbor was a dentist or something, but she knew since she was a child that she wanted to be a dentist. I think that's pretty cool. A lot of times people don't know what they want to be until they get older, I've even heard, like I got some Nigerian friends, they're known for their parents telling them you're either going to be an attorney, a doctor, or engineer. They don't get a choice in the matter. Their parents already tell them this is what you're going to be. Listen, at the end of the day, as long as you end up putting your hands to the plow and becoming good at it and doing something that's not evil, right? I believe God blesses it in a way that allows you to have success, especially when you work hard. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Don't forget to connect with the brand at www.there'shopebrand.com. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.